Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to our channel, Ivan here. Before we get into today's video, I want to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas and a wonderful holiday season. I hope you're all having a great time with family, friends, and hopefully you found a new watch under the tree. Today we're checking out a watch that's very similar but also completely new, the updated, smaller version of the St. Martin SN0009. If you remember, I reviewed the 44mm version of this watch a while back. I love the quality, but for many of you, that size was just a bit too much wrist presence. Well, St. Martin listened, and they've just released this more compact version. Before we dive into the changes, just a quick heads up. The AliExpress New Year's sale kicks off next week, and if you end up liking this watch, that's going to be the perfect time to grab it. I've already put my usual discount codes in the description and pinned comment below, and when you combine those with the sale prices, the deal is going to be hard to beat. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on it. Now let's get straight into the biggest change, the dimensions. Guys, while the previous model was a chunky 44mm beast, this new version has been scaled down to a much more sweet spot size. The case diameter is now 40mm, the lug-to-lug is a very wearable 46.5, and the thickness comes in at 13.1mm. Finally, the lug width has been dropped to 20, down from the 22mm on the original. As always, here it is on my 17cm or 6.7-inch wrist. While the 44mm was surprisingly wearable for its size, this version is on a different level. It feels significantly lighter and more balanced, yet it loses none of that bold two-watch aesthetic. If you love the look of the original but found the size a bit too intimidating, this is exactly the version you've been waiting for. And just in case it's helpful for a size reference, here is the new SN0009 next to the updated SN0017, which now comes with a PT5000 movement. Both watches share a 40mm diameter, but they wear quite differently. The SN0017 has a slightly longer lug-to-lug at 48mm, but it's significantly thinner at only 11.6. On the wrist, they have a very similar presence in terms of scale, but the SN0009 definitely feels more substantial and tool-like. Moving on to the design and build quality, there are no major surprises here, which is a good thing. The watch remains a fantastic homage to the Grand Seiko SBGA 463, featuring that same gorgeous handset and a high-quality ceramic bezel with one of the best bezel actions I've ever tried. The build quality is just as exceptional as it was on the 44mm version, and it still feels like a tank, just a slightly smaller one. What is different here is the clasp. St. Martin has now carried over the clasp introduced with the SN0144 models. In fact, to be fair, the entire bracelet is the same one used on the SN0144, which is great news because I absolutely love it. It's solid, very well made, beautifully finished, and overall, it just feels and looks premium. Something else that's made a comeback here is the embossed Shrunk Caseback. Now, obviously this doesn't add any technical functionality, but I've always been a huge fan of it. It's a classic St. Martin detail that's just plain cool, and in my opinion it gives the watch a much more complete and premium feel compared to a plain sterile caseback. Guys, the dial remains exactly the same as the original, but let's take a closer look anyway and appreciate just how clean and balanced the execution is. Once again, I chose the black version as I simply love the monochrome color scheme and the versatility it offers. Lately, St. Martin has been releasing a lot of colorful, fancy dials with complex textures, which is great to see, but if you're looking for something more traditional and built to be a daily driver, this monochrome black version is likely going to be the right choice for you. Alright guys, it's time we mention the last change St. Martin has made here, and that is the movement. Now, while the previous version used the ubiquitous Seiko NH35, this new model has switched over to the Epson YN55, which, as many of you know, is essentially the unbranded version of the Orient F6922 movement that can be found in watches like the Komatsu. Personally, I see this as a horizontal move, if not a slight upgrade. In my experience, these YN55 movements often come better regulated from the factory and tend to be slightly more accurate out of the box than the NH35. In fact, this particular one is running at just +2 seconds per day with a beat error of only 0.3 milliseconds, which is excellent performance. There you have it guys, the bottom line is that St. Martin took a great watch and made it accessible for everyone. By shrinking the case, they've created what might be the perfect everyday 2 watch for those who love the GS aesthetic. But hey, what do you think? Is the 40mm the right move, or do you still prefer the 44mm beast? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this look at the updated SN0009, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I've got some very cool pieces coming to the channel in the next few days, not only from St. Martin, but also from their premium sister brand Jianghan. Take care guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.